Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of the podcast. This is episode 61 of the podcast. My name is M2 Dave, and I'm here with my co-host MK Rio.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 61. Tom couldn't make this episode, but we're going to be joined today with two guests, being Burrito Voorhees and Jamessmk. How are you guys doing? You guys
I'm
there?
doing well.
Oh, sorry.
I'm here.
Yeah, I was gonna let James go first,
Wow.
but I'm doing good.
He's doing the age before
50-50
beauty
already.
thing. He's doing the age before beauty thing. I got you. What's up, guys?
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting episode because we're going to cover Frosty Faustings, which Dave and I viewed the top 8 for, which had some pretty good gameplay and stuff. But apparently, there was like a lot of controversy regarding the event. Do you want to touch on that, James?
Well, it started out where, the event was over, and I play fucking Mr. Detective on fucking Twitter, and I'm starting to see people, and they were saying things like, the water at at Frosty Faustings was spiked. I said, that's fucking weird. And in my head, I'm like, how the hell do you spike water? Usually they get like, the Poland Spring jugs, and they're pretty much sealed. So how you spiking them? And then somebody posted a picture, and in the picture it had like 4 or 5 of the jugs, and they looked like jugs that the dude bought at the dollar store, and he had the tops taped down because apparently somebody spiked it with vodka, is from what I was told. But then I'm hearing I heard conflicting stories, but they were saying it just wasn't right. I take a very strong stance on it because I'll be honest, it could have gone really sideways. One of the things I've noticed is once everybody started to get to their homes, it was try to play coverage for Frosty Fausting. If you noticed, Frosty Fausting didn't mention it at all. So they'll just do the usual.
Hear about this at all.
They'll do the usual. This is just, like the MK community did to me for years. James MK, the old man yelling at clouds, did to me for years. Dudes, just think of it this way. Since I'm such a monster in the room, say it was me that went there, and I put, I don't know, ricin in the fucking water. There'd be a bunch of dead bodies.
Yeah,
and the people are taking it. It's morbid to think about, but in this day and age, it could very potentially become a reality. So I was out there saying, like, okay, somebody had mentioned that, they caught the person, but they're not going to tell the name. And I'm going to myself,
wait,
the
why?
fuck you mean? Now, of course, everybody comes up with their own conspiracy theory, and it's like, well, he's underage. So an underage kid outwitted all you super smart gamers and fucking spiked the water, and nobody saw nothing, and you didn't go after the parents. That should be arrestable. Not the motherfuckers talking about, I'm going to ban him from the community. No, he should be going to jail. And one of the things I was telling somebody else, I said, look, since everybody in the FGC like to label me an alcoholic for some odd reason, when you get to a point as an alcoholic and like you're on your last leg and you got cirrhosis and you're all fucked up, they put their final thing is they put you on a pill. I can't remember the pill's name. It's something in like neopraxin or some shit that's in Latin. So, but when you take this pill, a single drop of alcohol will cause you to start puking and convulsing hysterically. So let's just say I recovered as a drinker. And I said, you know what? I'm doing good. Let me treat myself to a $700 trip to fucking Chicago to go to Frosty Fausting. And I said, holy shit, it's so fucking hot in here. Let me get a drink of water. And the next thing you know, I'm on the fucking floor, puking up blood and fucking having a heart attack. And people are going to probably go, oh, it's dead. Yo, like, that's how bad it could have got. You don't know who's allergic to alcohol. it could have gone sideways in so many ways. And then you got people saying, yeah, well, it could have happened anywhere, but it didn't. It happened at your event. One of the last 3 events that exist. And nobody says nothing. To me, it's equivalent to when I brought out the Honeybee Sucker Punch in Sonic, and they all fucking just shit on me and tried to make me like I was a liar in the MKC. It could have gotten real. Same thing I said to Honeybee. You could have sucker punched him. He fell, hit his head on the corner of a table, and fucking died. You don't know. You got your 15 minutes of fame playing video games. When it's gone, it's gone. Do you want to spend it doing stupid shit? Like, enjoy the games. There was condom wrappers everywhere. Those Hims pill shits everywhere. I'm going, just go to a porn convention at that point. Why are you going to a video game tournament?
Wait, there was condom wrappers like at the venue?
Yeah.
What? I'm so confused as to why, like on the
Well,
ground.
let's ask somebody who was actually there. With all the Burrito Voorhees, you were there. You got top 8 at Mortal Kombat 1. We watched you play Reunited together. Did you see any of this stuff?
I think I did see a Twitter post on the condom wrapper, but I didn't physically witness that, and I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, the drink spiking apparently was a thing, and I probably should have been smarter about this, but because I
Please tell
got
me you
this
didn't
like
have some of the
$8.
water.
Yeah, so I had this $8 like water bottle I got from Starbucks, and I'm just like in my head thinking like, I'm not gonna keep buying water bottles, fuck that. But then after I had refilled my bottle like 5 times, but I think I've only had it from I was only in the NRS pool room, so like where they had the pools for the NRS games, I was only in there. So I think I only touched one room of dispensers, and I felt fine, thankfully. But I had heard they were spiked after the fact that I had refilled it like 5 times.
That
So
is
I'm
like
still feeling okay, but yeah, I think next time I'll just I'll play it safe and just buy different like extra water bottles in the future, like because I had no idea that people were apparently spiking them when I was there.
that is so
Well,
frightening that apparently someone is going around spiking water. Like, is nobody watching or monitoring the water that they have, like public water there available? They don't have like staff making sure the food that they're giving or the water isn't being tampered with. Because that could have been this. Like, we got lucky; nobody's been seriously hurt. This could have went so
Yeah.
bad. Like, I don't understand. If did they acknowledge that the water was tampered with at the event?
hold on. You were already jumping to conclusions that nobody even knows to what extent this happened. I think you're asking all the wrong questions. It's like, I mean, Burrito Voorhees, did you hear about this when you were there? Like, is that
Yeah,
what
I
the?
did.
Okay.
I think Blackery was telling me he was hearing word that they were spiking the water, and that's when I first heard of it. And I was just like, oh shit, like, and that was on. I think he had told me that, and some others that on. I think it was Saturday, or I think it was Friday. And Saturday, I didn't. I just hung out Saturday, but I didn't drink any more of the dispenser water. I hung out like in the Break the Lake guys' room, which is like our local scene in Mentor. So like I was hanging out with like Competitor, Long John Cena, and some others like for a lot of the remainder of the night that day. So yeah, my I was drinking a lot of water from the dispensers Thursday and Friday, and then I had heard about it like Saturday, I believe, or late Friday.
Yeah, I'm reading James's post. Obviously, I want people accountable if they committed a crime, but I think this post goes way overboard. James, you call 99% of the people who attended Frosty Faustings are fucking losers and scumbags. I'm just using your words. So
Yeah.
already, I don't know what you're talking. Why is Franco a loser for going to the tournament?
I didn't say him. I said 99%. Now he's
But
part of
why?
the because they covered for it. People
James,
actually were
let me
saying,
just, James.
no. Let me no. You're not going to overtalk me on this one. There's no way you could turn around. If you knew I raped somebody and you stayed silent, aren't you just as complicit? And she said, not my problem. Yeah, but what if it went sideways? These people covered for them, saying, oh, this could happen anywhere. Well, yeah, no shit it could, but it happened here. And they were fine with that. Let's just say hypothetically, Tom Brady was the one that did it. And I don't even like using him in that kind of context, but do you think they would give that same fucking pass? Do you think they would say, oh, you know what? We don't want him to get in trouble? No, they would roast him at the stake. Now, what my belief is, again, this day and age of everybody thinks they're a social media influencer, they thought it would be funny. Like the videos we all see where kids do some really stupid shit. And then when when the fuck around find out moment comes out, they come out with it was just a prank. Because I can't see somebody doing this with the intent. But the fact that the people that were even talking about it on Twitter, and these are well-known people, they're literally turning around saying, oh, it's okay. Because, it could happen anywhere. That, to me, makes you a scumbag. You can't be social justice and for helping mankind when it's convenient. And that's what I mean by the 99%. I don't mean everybody. Maybe I overplay my percentage, but a large percentage. I got hate because I put that tweet out about the water getting spiked. I'm a Nazi. I'm a racist. I'm homophobic. I'm a Trump supporter. I'm an ICE agent. What the fuck, dude? I'm just telling you, it's fucked up that nobody said nothing. And then they just pretended it away. And that's happened too many times in this scene. And that's one of the reasons why you notice, what are we down to? Three events. We used to have what, like 2 a month? There's 3 events left.
Yeah, we used to have like 1 or 2 majors every single month for the whole year. Now it's like so many of them don't exist anymore.
And it's not about the scenes dwindling down. It's about you better hold on to what you got because they're going to be gone soon too. So if you really,
I just feel like you're jumping to conclusion to stuff you don't understand. Yes, by law you're not allowed to release if this action has been done by a minor. By law, you're not allowed to release it. If you do, you can
I've heard that.
How do I know that? Because I work with minors. And by the way, if you guys, James, I'll let you speak. Let me speak. If somebody, the guys, the company that you work for, the factory, whatever, right? The school system, if somebody committed a crime, and administration didn't know about it, why is that your fault, right? Why are you a scumbag and a fucking idiot? Like you had nothing to do with it. It might be completely, might have been completely oblivious to the crime, right? If I don't know, the accountant guy does something inappropriate, why is it my fault? Like, why are you blaming the whole scene because of what one or two people might have done? We didn't even know the extent to which was this even done. So to make like a outrageous post and let you, to use your own words, completely overplay the numbers, I think it's just irresponsible.
I go with 70. I would go with 75. 75% would be a better number.
And again, I'm telling you that if a minor had committed this crime, by law you cannot, from what, I'm not a lawyer, guys, by law you're not allowed to share that his or her name, right? It's illegal. I know that very, very well. So you have to be careful about what you're tweeting. And as somebody who's been in the scene for a very long time, I think you have some backtracking to do with this post. Again, I'm not excusing.
Not at all. I would not backtrack 1 ounce. Not
Well, I
one
know
ounce.
that's why you're getting flamed. I mean, I don't care if you support Trump or any of these
I'm,
other
I'm
allegations.
getting flamed. I'm getting flamed because apparently my post makes me a racist.
Look, man, I'm
Makes
not
no
gonna do
sense.
the Twitter, James. I'm not gonna do the Twitter. That's the reason why I'm not on Twitter. It's a cesspool. I think if you're on Twitter, you're completely wasting your time. You're not learning anything. It's essentially a bunch of people posting it's essentially a place of baseless assertion. You can say anything, and if you have some uh uh recognition to your name, people will listen to you and they will be also misinformed. Please don't go on Twitter. If you're trying to play the fighting, it's for the fighting. There are so many better places you can engage in. But I'm obviously, just to be clear, obviously, uh, if somebody spiked, especially if it were done by the TOs, which we don't know, like of course they should be in trouble. Obviously, like who's nobody would defend that. Uh, but I don't think the people who attended that doesn't mean that the people who attended the event are somehow losers or that the whole scene burned it down. That's my criticism. You like, what are you even talking about? Like, and what is it? What do the other events that have like, for example, in Ohio we used to have what was it, power level season beaters like that has nothing to do with spiking people's drinks or people legal doing stuff, doing illegal stuff. Those events went down because post
The
COVID, man.
reason I didn't say one had to do with the other. I said you should cherish what you got. You're down to 3 events. You got
They
Combo
are
Breaker
cherishing it,
CEO
and you're
before
trying to
the
burn it down because of something you're accusing essentially the TOs of covering
no, no, no,
stuff
no,
up.
no. Did the TOs make any public statement?
It's not their
Did
job to
it,
do
did it
so if
open?
if there had been
What do
no
you mean?
investigation.
So you're telling me the people that are sick, that were sick, there were people that were sick from this. You're not going to tell them who did it?
Maybe they don't know who did it. There's such James. You don't know like the basics of investigation. If somebody that
Wait, wait,
comes
wait, wait,
now,
wait, 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 wait. Here you go. One of their posse came out and said they caught the person, but they didn't. They refused to release the name. But there's people that got sick, and damn right they have. See now, what needs to happen is those people need to go file police reports, and then eventually lawyer up and sue Frosty Fausting for negligence. That's what they should do. That's what the real world does. As far as them being underage, okay. I thought 18 unless you're there with a parent. Now, Burrito, how many parents did you see running around there?
I only attended the Smash, or not the Smash, the NRS area, so very few parents. But yeah, I'd imagine, I would hope that there's more parents in like the Smash scene since it's like an all age game, you know?
You would hope, but I mean, from the events of the Smash events I've went to over the years, you rarely see parents. Not that you don't see them, but it's not commonplace. So if a kid's there underage, that's another knock at Frosty Fausting.
I don't get it. Do these tournaments, like, do they not have security there? Or people monitor? Like, can anybody just walk in the venue? Like, it just seems like it's so
No.
unorganized and.
No, there was security there. Now maybe they should have been like when I was going through security, like they checked my bag and stuff. I think maybe they should have. I know it would be annoying to the competitors, but I mean, rightfully so. It would prevent this from happening a lot more because uh, people that had drinks would still be let through. Like I had my water bottle that I kept refilling, and I went into security with it being empty and with it being full, and they still let me in, no problem. So like maybe going forward, they shouldn't let people in with any type of bottles. I know that would be really inconvenient for the people that don't spike drinks and like public, station like water stations, but if it has to be done to prevent this kind of stuff, then
I think it could have been solved easier than even that. All right, this is an example, and again, this is me throwing out my hypothesis. These guys went to the dollar store and bought those jugs. With a twist off jugs, they probably went to the custodian drop sink and filled it up with the water from there and put it back. Where they could have spent the $25 and gotten the full gallon jugs that aren't openable, so you can't open it, and it sits in the little cooler and pours the water. But it would cost you money, but it would be safe. Now, of course, somebody could come up with a hypodermic needle and stick it in the side, but it's going to leak. Like, it's not, it's tamper proof. That would have solved it altogether. But the fact that that people are defending it because it's an event that they like, I understand that. But then don't put yourself out there as, I mean, I could call out specific people, but I don't, this ain't the On Blast show. But they put themselves out there as the defender of the weak and the savior of everybody. And then the minute something in their world gets rocked, it's mum, quiet, nothing to see here. And when I say the high percentage that I say, yes, I don't mean 99%. But I say that to piss people off. Because are you that 1% that are okay? Are you the 1% that just turned a blind eye to it? And that's what, and again, that's one of the reasons I stepped away from the NRS community. That whole honeybee shit. And I don't want to rehash it, but like, I saw people's true color. Had M2 Dave punch somebody or Jamessmk punch somebody, we'd be fucking roasting together with the witches. But because it was him, oh, it's okay. They're friends. They made peace. Okay. But they still threw punches. And and the scene has been constantly that. Zero and Low Tier God had a huge war. LTG was calling him homophobic or transphobic words, and Zero was dropping N-bombs on him. At the end, LTG banned for life. Zero, 3-month ban. He learned his lesson.
Again, James, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. I think you're just delving into a multitude of topics that are completely unrelated to each other. Like, there's no question that certain people have special privileges in terms of, if they do something wrong, um, they may not get in as much trouble as certain other people. And I can give you many examples. I'm not going to do that because that has nothing to do with this topic. I think I'm just speaking on behalf of if I were, you know, the administrator or whatever the term and organizer in this case. You also just don't want to randomly throw people, names out, and then it turns out that they didn't do it, but now you completely tarnish their reputation. Uh, so I think you have to be, there obviously has to be some investigation. Are they going to do it? I doubt it, but like that's, you have to be responsible. uh, I know this because I have some administrative experience. You just don't want to throw people. If it's a minor, you have to follow the legal process. Just can't throw. Oh, maybe this guy did it. Like, okay, turns out he didn't. Again, now you tarnish his reputation, and that's very, very dangerous and it's unfair. So, and also I do question your motives because you have made literally by your own admission, you have used numbers that are overplayed. You said some stuff that maybe you wouldn't necessarily take back, but it seems like I question you and Tom because for some reason you guys sound very bitter to me, and you just want to burn the FGC at all costs. Like, uh, Tom does it for I don't know his personal vendettas with people. I'm not gonna name those people. You can talk about them. You do it because you don't like men in suits running the FGC, or because it's become too esports. So I question your motives. That doesn't mean I think you're a bad person, but like you've done this for a very, very long time, and I have listened to the Unblast show. You've made some insane assertions. Like, that's why I'm questioning you. I don't think 99% of people who attended this event are losers. Why would they be? If they want to play fighting games, let them play it. Like, what do they have to do with what happened? Imagine like if one or two people did this, like they're unrelated to the
But here's the thing: you're harping on me calling them losers. That's the same thing as that of saying, nobody got the drink spiked. It's not that big a deal. You're treating it, fine. All right. I'm not going to take it back, but I will say this. My concern is not burn it down. It's Me being a part of something for 40 years, only to find out now fucking kids are dying at events because of stupid shit because people don't know how to act. And when you see something like this, it's just one more thing that happens. And it's one more thing that could have potentially turned. And watching a TO, and I'll say it, be more concerned of playing PR coverage. Burrito, did they let you know? Like, hey, did you drink any of the water? If you did, stay in contact with us.
Nope. I wasn't talked to by any TOs of that information.
Did they mention it on the PA system at all to anybody and say, hey, guys, don't drink the water? Because if you had that fucking 8-gallon thing that you're saying you had and you were just chugging it away, you don't know.
No, no
At that
loudspeaker talks. Like no announcements as far as I know.
That's where I take issue. You have to better fucking cover your event. It ain't about covering your ass to look good. It's God, I cringed when I saw this, and I just like pictured the Jonestown massacre because let's be real. I'm not going to say 99% because of you, Dave. 60% of the kids that come to these events are pretty broke. So free water to them is golden. And if you turned around and you fucking went to your room, took a shower and came down and walked back in the venue and seen 40, 50 people on the ground fucking out unconscious. That's a very real, it was a knocking on the door reality. It wasn't it could happen. I mean, the water was spiked. It just didn't happen that way this time.
What if next time it's spiked with poison? Like, what if people died?
I don't think anybody.
This is pretty a big deal in my opinion.
Hold on a second, please. I don't think anybody is against accountability. Like, I don't think anybody's making that case, and I'm sure we don't know. This is all speculative. I told Rio I hate social topics, semi-political topics. I have to discuss armor for
this
the
is literally
100th
about
time.
The tournament, though, that just happened. That's why, like, it's literally related to the tournament.
There's no like. It's not like there had been an investigation and they found people guilty, and now the tournament.
But are we gonna pretend it didn't happen and just sweep it under the rug? That's crazy to me. Talk about Frosty Faustings and not.
Well, I'm also against theory and accusing people that something that they maybe might have done. But
apparently, it was confirmed that the water was spiked. So what do you mean theory?
Okay, by who? Give me the names. Like, what was there an investigation?
Franco just said that they said that the water was spiked there. Like, he heard that it was talked about.
Was there an investigation? Was there an investigation?
I don't know if there was an investigation because I didn't talk to the TOs, but apparently the TOs
I'm sure the venue had cameras. Okay, somebody needs to look at those cameras. Security does, and then they can find out who did it. Like, it's not that complicated. Like, but I'd rather go on facts rather than 99% of people are idiots. Burn everything down.
I don't understand. Do we have to wait for someone to drop dead next tournament because water spike before we start doing something about it? Like, is that your solution? Like, wait until something gets really bad?
I told you what should be done. I think anybody above the Q of 100 completely understand. Like, cameras are everywhere, and not just, by the way, security cameras, but also people with cell phones, right? Like, I'm saying is look at the cameras and find out who was doing this. It's not that complicated. Like, security can do that. The people who own the venue,
even with the cameras finding who did it, what if somebody died with this? You gotta next time if they're gonna offer free water or free food or whatever it is like that, you gotta have someone that maybe they could pay to monitor it to make sure no one can go there and do anything, because that's really dangerous.
Also, being broke and abusing drugs in the FGC, obviously voluntarily or involuntarily, goes back to as far as in the FGC as I've been around. Like, the stuff that people used to do in hotel rooms is crazy. Like, if you guys have ever been to EVE or a major event, uh, anything, even locally, constant combat, which we used to hold here in Ohio, bro, the stuff people used to do and how much they used to drink. I think abusing drugs, it's just honestly, it's part of the FGC. I'm not excusing it. I hope people are responsible and don't engage in that type of destructive behavior, to themselves and others. It's just a matter of fact. So and I'm not excusing any of this. If I were the TOs, I would look at the cameras and demand that the security and venue give me access to those footage so I could check this out instead of engaging in nonsensical talk about exaggerated conversations, speculative conversations. That's honestly all I have to say about this.
But it seems like
It's a rather
you're more angry that people were called losers in a tweet rather than the water actually being spiked.
well, if that's your
I'm not
assessment
saying
of
one of
my
the other things is good. I'm not saying like, but I'm saying, bro, I think you're missing the point here.
I don't think there is a point because the people, because again,
The
this
water
event
was
has not been
spiked, bro.
investigated.
How is this not
You
like a
like
big deal?
drama. You want people to throw random names. This person was guilty. This person, like, I'm against that. Like, give me evidence that the person did it based on
I'm not
actual.
asking them to just pull a name out of the hat, but I'm asking them if if it's not a child, which I doubt it is. Um, if it's
You
not
never
a
know.
child,
You never
you
know,
never
though,
know.
especially Smash community.
Then the parents need to be arrested too. But the
Yeah,
point
just
Not against
is,
that.
let the people, because it's only a day after or 2 days now after. People are still in their recovery mode. How many people on Twitter were going, "Yo, now that I see that, I all of a sudden got really fucked up." Now I can't tell you who's lying and who's not lying. I can tell you, in all honesty, I don't think everybody that's saying it's lying, but they damn well need to know who did it. And if that does come out, I can honestly say Frosty Fausting's done. Because if these people lawyer up, they're going to sue the shit out of everybody. And that's just the reality. That's just the way the world works. In New York, we had a player die at Defend the North from heat, and they went after him.
yeah. I mean,
So it's like it had nothing
can
to
you
do with
really?
the at all.
Yeah, but saying, can you really blame someone if they don't want to go back to Frosty Faustings after this?
No, not at all. And I'm urging. I don't know
Your mic's
how
super low,
Rio.
Dave. It's hard to hear you.
I don't understand how Rio came to the conclusion that I'm blaming the victims here. I am for accountability, as I keep saying for the 10th time. If I were the TOs,
Yeah, but well,
again,
here's the thing though. If the victim cannot be blamed for whatever reason, whether it's a kid or it's a friend or whoever it is, then unfortunately the event has to now be blamed. It's got to go on somebody. So if the person cannot be blamed for doing this, then you have to blame the vet. So Frosty Fausting has to take all the bullets.
well, again, it's the devil, the details. What's the expression? The devil's in the details, right? Uh,
Bro, the water was
there's
spiked, so now the vent's gonna get blamed.
Rio. By
If I
law,
was
you
there and I had some of this
cannot.
water, I would not care to listen to someone tell me, "Oh, we can't tell you." Bro, I would just, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to this event again ever. I'm roasting it, and people
And
deserve
I'm
to know
suing.
that.
And I'm suing.
Yeah, like what? Like,
And I'm going to
bro,
sue you.
are you joking?
I,
And I don't
Like
get me
what the
wrong.
fuck?
Elvin Shadow has never done nothing to me that I hate the guy. But the reality of it is, Burrito even said, nobody said nothing. They were trying to sweep it under the rug. It was only until one person probably told, one person in Elvin's circle told somebody and so on, like the old finesse commercial. And then people started talking about it. Had it not been for that, there was no one. And I checked Frosty Faustin's tweets. I checked Elvin's tweets. I've checked all the tweets because I ain't the type of person that puts shit out there unless I cross the T and dot the I. And from everything I see, when even Super Yan, who can't stomach me, is out there saying it, and she loves the event. She still loved the event. Again, she was one that glossed over it. But at a certain point, accountability has to be had.
and I don't think
Yeah, and in my
anybody
opinion, if you
is
can't
against.
blame the person that did it for whatever reason, then the event has to take the blame for it.
who's against blaming the person? All people are saying, I think people who are reasonable and not
But I'm saying
destructive. All
if the person can't be blamed for it, whether they're a kid or whatever, then the event has
yeah,
to take the blame for it.
not necessarily. I mean, again, the minor, if the person is a minor, can still face consequences, just not on as an adult. It seems like none of you have ever worked with minors before. I can already tell. Like you just cannot release that. Like they can sue you. Like trust me. So the point I'm trying to
I'm not
say
even
is
talking
that
about the minor thing. I'm saying the event must be blamed if the person can't.
no,
What
I
does that have to do
agree,
with
and that's what I'm
minors?
saying. That's what I'm saying because you just mentioned the word, and you speculating
What?
that it might. Again, this is all speculation. Nobody knows exactly what happened. So what I'm saying is that is this like this has to happen. Look at the cameras.
Dave, it
This
seems to
should
be
catch
confirmed
it.
that the water was spiked. Like, what do you? I don't know why I keep saying we
Okay.
don't know what happened.
Well, we don't know the specific in terms of like how many people did it.
Somebody went to the
And
water
what,
jugs that were the cheap ones. We could open the lid at the top, put some shit in that bitch, closed it up. Other people started drinking it. They started feeling weird. People saying their head hurts, this and that. And then they realized the water was spiked. Then they told the TL, and then the TL tried to replace the water
But
or
now,
whatever.
but here's the thing, and again, this is a jab at Frosty Fausting. So you tell me somebody spiked the water, and your answer was clean it out, put water back in it, and put a piece of red tape on top of the lid.
That's also
That's it.
horrendous. How about you throw the water out and don't replace it? Like, just get rid of it.
And say now nobody gets water because I can't take the possible liability, which now you got to take, of somebody drinking spiked water on my event that during my time.
Yeah, the way it was
And it
handled
probably
was
puts
really
the
bad.
hotel, and it probably puts the hotel, the venue, on the hook too. Again, you know how lawyers are. They'll sue the fucking crossing guard that was up the block from the hotel because she let the kid cross the street to do it. So I mean, lawyers will dig for anything, but it's not something that's going to get swept under the rug and just pretend wished away. And it's usually a day or two before our wonderful friends at Kotaku or one of these other sites catch wind of this, and it starts to spread. But the fact of the matter is, I can understand. I know exactly what you mean about a kid being underage and not being able to release the name. We're guessing he's underage because they didn't release the name. I err more in the fact that they don't want to release the name because they really want this just to go away, and they're
no,
going to hope in a
absolutely.
couple of days. I
Yeah.
hope in a couple of days that it dies down and nobody talks about it. But I've seen a lot of people saying they did get sick. And again, I can't speak for them. I didn't question them, but they said, I got a video of guys fucking sprawled out. That could have just been from them drinking. I
But
don't
James,
know,
that's what I
but
mean. That's what I mean. Like Rio asked, well, we know this. No, we don't know anything actually, like because some people might have drunk and gotten sick. Some people might not have. I'm suggesting is like, look, I don't want to go to an event. My kids going to an event like, and then obviously getting poisoned, like you accurately point out. Like, I am for an investigation. I think the venue, whatever the hotel administration, should look at the cameras and try to figure this out. Like, who's against that? Like, nobody's against accountability. But
believe it or
I
not,
don't want James. But I
look,
don't
there's a
want the
there's
wrong
a problem.
people. James, I don't want the wrong people getting blamed, the wrong names coming out because you know what that can do to somebody's reputation. That's all I'm for. Like I you
Well,
know, someone like you and
I
Tom, they
agree.
should understand this on both sides. Like why would you like
I,
that's all I'm
I
saying.
agree. Look at the reputation I got labeled, and I embrace it now. But wait, so I was the first pro Mortal Kombat player technically, and somehow I'm a Nazi? I'm an old man that yells at clouds because I give a shit about people going to events and being safe. And I've actually defended people. And I don't give a fuck what orientations they are, what color they are, what religion they are. I'm a bleeding heart liberal when it comes to that. I just wanted people play fucking games. There's no reason to make the mistakes of us in the fucking 90s and start punching each other. Never told people to go do violence to other people, but yet I got labeled that way. and does it bother me? Yeah. So that's also why I don't want a random name pulled out of a hat. I want the actual name, but at least a statement acknowledging we're investigating it or something. Nobody heard nothing at all. That's where I really take the problem with this whole thing. I mean, I can understand, like I said, you say a lot, there's a lot of he said, she said shit. I understand that.
I mean, that's essentially
Too,
Twitter. I mean, that's that's the literally all. That's the point of Twitter is you make
but
baseless
it's
assertions and you
Twitter.
hope
Yeah,
it catches fire.
but this is Twitter people that were at the event.
No,
And
I
it's not
completely
one
understand.
and it's not one or two from the Mortal Kombat scene. It's people from every fucking game. So at a certain point you got to go, all right, either they're all liars or something happened. And yes, obviously something happened. It's not a hypothesis. And the fact that something happened, every other TO has at least tried to be forthcoming with something serious. They'll go on Twitter and they'll say like, "Hey guys, sorry, that person's banned and they're removed from the event." And it's like even with Honeybee, Compton fucking put the motherfucker on a flight within 2 hours, had him on a flight back to Canada, and tweeted out, sorry to the people watching. But there has to be some kind of accountability. You know what they're posting on their tweet? If you go look, celebration videos, because they're doing PR damage control.
I
They don't
mean,
want to.
not necessarily because when you release a public statement, what you communicate in terms of diction and words is of the utmost importance, right? Because, for example, if you say, "Well, we're aware, what transpired, and a couple of individuals might be involved," and it turns out it's not a couple of individuals. Do an investigation; it's multiple.
And I understand that.
Dave's mic cut out.
I think so.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Dave, we can't hear you. So I guess while Dave's come back, I was just looking on Twitter right now. I was searching Frosty Faustings, and now something like this came up. I'm seeing stuff come up related to it. I just posted in a chat, and I guess I could show you guys who are looking at the video. I could pull up. So right here, this person, what's his name? Sergey Shrukanov says at the top, have you played a Frosty Faustings water? Have you ever played Frosty Faustings water roulette with your life on the line? He has a picture of the jugs, and apparently they're spiking. He was saying that they're spiking it, and they don't know what they spiked it with. But he said, "I wish I knew what it was, but I definitely drank it because my head was pounding like crazy that day." So I mean, like this is also there's images of people that are at the venue saying it.
Yeah, that's a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit right there.
And now I'm looking at the water jugs you were describing. So these are the ones they got. I can see at the top. You could just pick it up, I guess, right? And it opens.
Yeah, just lift it up. Dollar store jugs.
Yeah. So in theory, if you have nobody monitoring that, somebody can walk over to the water. They could twist it, open it, and then pour in whatever they want.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, your mic was muted.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just want to say that I think you guys maybe understood the last part. I'm not, again, for the millionth time, I'm not against holding people accountable. I'm just saying, like, if administration releases a statement, right, like, and let's say they do, a couple of people might have done this, and turns out like it was, I don't know, like 10. Well, they look stupid, right? And they can be held accountable for that statement as well. There's a lot of speculation here, and I hate social topics for this reason, and semi-political topics, which is why I always encourage you not to discuss these on a podcast because they essentially turn into like rumors, which I've never done that. People like Tom, and to a lesser extent me and Rio, we've always stuck to gameplay topics, and that's what I want this podcast to be. That doesn't mean we should ignore like certain topics that happen, social topics, that happen in tournaments. I just don't like rumors, and I feel like a lot of this. We
Dave,
all agree that
okay,
it happened. To what
look,
extent we don't know, though. That's the big question, though. That's all I'm saying.
look, I understand your mic got DC'd for a bit, so maybe you missed where I said, but there's people, right now, I went to Twitter, I searched Frosty Faustings, and this stuff came up, like people posting about, and somebody posted, you could see if you go to the Pockets channel, I posted the image there to this tweet, somebody posting the water jugs. And somebody saying, I wish I knew what they spiked it with because my head was pounding like crazy that day. This person had some of the water. So this whole speculation of was the water spiked, was it not? I mean, you have one person here saying it.
That's not the speculation. And besides, anybody can post anything on Twitter. I can literally, throw glasses right now on my table and be
Okay,
like,
so
"Oh,
the water
guys,
spiking never happened. It's just people were just
no,
conspiring together to lie
that's
about it.
not that's not what I'm saying. We have to figure out to what extent it happened. Like, was it a couple of people? Or was it like 10? Was it even administration? Was
And
one
then
of
look,
the
wait, there's more here. So
CEOs involved?
someone called Tyler says some effing loser spiking drinks and went into losers with effed up controls and unsure if I wanted to go play Geo or Chip, disappointed in myself, disappointed in an event. But now they're showing that after the water was spiked, I guess, they came to fix it, right? By dumping it out, putting back, and then putting tape on it. In my opinion, what they should have done, get rid of the entire water completely. Like, remove it, don't replace it, because this looks worse. Like, if water was spiked and tampered with, wouldn't you want the entire case to just be removed? Wouldn't that be the safer option?
No, I have 100%, but we don't know whether the TOs even knew about this during the time of this
But
event,
the
right?
TO
Like,
literally, they grabbed the water, they dumped it, refilled it with new water, and then they taped it. It's literally in the images, Dave. Do you not see? What do you mean they didn't
no,
know about it?
I know, but we don't know like when they found out. Did they find out like later, or did they find out like very soon?
I
And
don't know the
they made
exact time frame, but I'm saying they were
exactly
aware of it.
nobody knows. That's why you go by facts. You don't smear people. Like, they
Who is
did this on
getting
purpose.
smeared? I'm very confused. Who's getting smeared here?
James is like saying these people are morally corrupt. Everybody's a loser. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody knows what happened. Like, I'm saying, do an
Okay, so you're
investigation.
not upset with the fact water.
Listen, I know what happened exactly. Okay,
No, you don't. You're not there.
Water was spiked. They knew. They poured the fucking jugs out, refilled it, and put a piece of tape on it as if it's going to dissuade somebody from doing it again. That's it. It's not a grand conspiracy. As far as them being smart, because they're not, you didn't have to go, we're doing an investigation. Well, we got a couple of suspects. We're doing an investigation. We're made aware that the water was spiked. We will let you know more as soon as we know more. Boom. Message is concise, clear. Would have you kept drinking the water, Burrito?
Yeah, I would not have, no.
Exactly. But they didn't even do that. They just put tape on the fucking jugs and emptied them out. That's it.
Yeah, they should.
You don't even know what.
They should have made an announcement during the venue, and all the rooms been like, "Hey, everybody, we're removing water because it's been tampered with." They don't have to expose the person who did it for Dave's case. They could just said the water's been tampered with. We're removing it, and there's no more water. That would have been better than trying to not make an announcement there to let everybody know, and then dump the water out, put tape on it, put it back. Like, it's just very sketchy and a bad way to go about that.
I mean, Burrito said he had his 84-ounce glass. Yes, I'm exaggerating. All right. But if he didn't hear it and he filled and he played fucking Frosty Faustings roulette with the water jugs and got the one that was spiked and got fucked up, he wouldn't even have known because nobody told anybody.
Yeah, and also this was a tournament. Some people's performance could have been affected in it when they were playing because of this water. Like, some people were saying their head was hurting. It's pretty damaging for a tournament brand, in my opinion. And now look, we have more tweets are popping up. So you have someone here who's no, they're saying, by the way, whoever is found for having spiked the water station at Frosty Faustings needs to be charged. Fuck a lifetime ban. Like, you need to go to jail. I agree. Like, if whoever got caught doing this, they should be permanently banned from going to Frosty Faustings again. That's stupid. And then there's a tweet that Gandyman just posted in a chat to me. From this person, Boop Bloop says, after all of the sexual harassment and assault that has happened at this venue, Frosty Faustings, that has only resulted with victims having to hide away while the abusers still are able to compete, joking about the water getting spiked. Should you get shunned enough to not show your face publicly again? Yeah, this is pretty bad. Like, I think just putting this on the wraps and be like, who cares? No, nothing really happened is not the way to go about it.
And who is saying that?
Dave, but you seem to be more concerned with a tweet calling people at the venues losers rather than the water getting spiked. That's
And
why
you
I'm very
seem to be highly
confused.
concerned of repeating one statement that I made instead of me asking for accountability. Like,
So, should we
and
hold Frosty Faustings accountable?
when did I say we should not? Have you been
That's what we're
listening?
doing right now. But you're like, what? Like,
No,
we're,
you want to engage in this pointless drama, and you want to take this out of
this
hand.
is pointless drama. People had the water spiked at a tournament, and that's pointless drama.
No,
Not even worth
you want to
talking about.
engage in rumors
What?
and hearsay instead of holding
Oh
people
my,
accountable the right way. We don't know who did this, and obviously we should find out. I've given you the best.
Dave,
You
you're not
want to engage.
understanding, bro. Even though we don't know who
Can I
did
finish?
it, but even though we don't know who did it, we at least hold the tournament accountable? Why can't we do that?
Well, I'm
Like, what the
for.
hell?
Since you think I'm protecting the bad guys, the villains in this case. I will say it again, so very slowly, so even Rio can understand. The cameras need to be checked. I'm for solutions instead of rumors. I am for um, resolutions instead of blaming the wrong people and then tarnishing their reputation. What should be done for the millionth time? The administration at this venue, at this hotel, right? They have access to cameras. This can be investigated and can be put down to rest rather easily instead of, again, engaging in rumors. This person did that, that person did that. We don't know. Check the cameras. Fight. You can check, like, who's doing this. Like, it should be on tape and this should be investigated. You can collaborate with the tournament organizers, the hotel managers, owners can do that, and then we can hold those people accountable. Like, that's what I'm for. What I am against is making baseless assertions, ignoring nuances. That's what I'm against.
But
Now,
who's making
my
baseless
take on
assertions
what
here? I'm very confused. Like, who is saying, like, who's randomly getting blamed for no reason?
Well, the tournament
what
organizer, we don't know to what extent they knew what they didn't. Like, uh and are they
James just
morally
said earlier
bankrupt?
that they were aware that the water was spiked, that they replaced them, dumped them, then taped at the top, put it back.
Yeah, but
So that
when?
seems to show that they knew the water was tampered with, does it not? This is a photo showing that the water was put back and taped. Like, where is it? Right? Like, how is this not? Like, are you joking?
Well, in general, I do trust James. I don't trust
Somebody
Twitter
made
at
a tweet
all.
here going like, people repeatedly spiking the public water to the point they taped all of them shut.
I mean, again, let's
Why
ask the
would the
guy who was
TO have to dump the water, bring it back, and tape it if the water wasn't tampered with? Can you explain that?
there.
Because
Burrito
you said
Voorhees,
there's a lot
again,
of
you were there.
baseless
Burrito
assumptions.
Voorhees, you were there. Were all the waters like taped when were the waters taped where you participated during pools in the top eight?
Yeah, there was a point in time where there was red duct tape on the sides of the jugs, like two pieces of duct tape left and right of the jugs on every
Did you
jug.
see that? Did you see that in the other areas? Like, if you happen to go, I don't know, to the um, I don't know, Street Fighter section or the Tekken section, did you see the same thing? Or
Yeah, I forgot what the ballrooms they were labeled like one was called Lilac and I think one was called like the Junior Ballroom or something.
yeah,
Uh, those ballrooms had them. I'm sure every one of them had tape on them, but the ones I was in, yeah, I just forgot which ones. I just wish I knew the names of the rooms I was in. But I want to say the MK was the Lilac Ballroom, and I think the Junior Ballroom was where the top eight was for MK, which also had them. So yeah, it was red duct tape on two pieces of red duct tape on the sides of the dispensers.
as somebody who was there, what do you wish had been done to to make people aware that this was going on?
Some kind of maybe like I mean, if it's a I mean, I don't know what exactly the right thing to do is, but I would probably try to make it known, and if hopefully like the staff could tell security like, hey, like don't let anybody else with drinks like in because our water is being tampered with, and like let some kind of announcement in person and like virtually, like letting people that attended know. I guess that'd be like the best way to go about it, right?
Well, I'm asking you because you were there. Maybe like a public announcement from the TOs at the event saying,
Yeah,
"Hey,
yeah,
don't."
like an in-person announcement and an official announcement, like on Twitter and other platforms, for the attendees to be able to see.
Based on your perception of being there, do you think a couple of people did this, or was this maybe there were like a multitude of people involved?
Man, I have no idea. I really don't know. I mean, I would like to think nobody from the NRS scene did this, but obviously I don't know. And again, it just goes back to I don't. It's just like hearsay. Like I really don't know who to blame and how many people to blame.
Do you hold the tournament organizers accountable to the extent that again they did not necessarily do the right thing? They should have made an announcement. Like, are you mad? Are you going to go back to this event again next year?
If I go back, I'm definitely. I mean, this isn't just a Frosty thing, but if I go back again, I'm gonna be aware, just not mess with not take a chance at any open dispensers. I think not just Frosty Faustings, but every event I go to going forward, because I think I might have just lucked out, and uh, I'm not gonna take that chance again. Because I genuinely had no idea about it until like a few days later. So.
Crazy how we got
But
to watch out for the free poisoned water at events. Amazing.
I mean, and again, I understand where you're coming from, Dave, as far as the not wanting it to be that way, but this
That's not
is
my
the way it is.
perspective.
Yeah, this
That's
is
not
the
my
way
Just
it
saying,
is. We got to talk about the tournament the way it was. Like we can't pretend it didn't happen.
that's not my
I can't
perspective.
sit here.
That's not my perspective at
I'm
all. But you can believe whatever you want to believe.
so. What's your perspective? You say you want all the answers to come out. Do you know you can't just ask the hotel for the footage?
Yeah, they're
The
not
first
just
thing
going to
he
give it
should
to
have
you.
the first thing he's got to do is he should have called the cops before anything else. Get the cops down immediately. Then you can get the tapes. Do you know when there was date rapes in Evo? Evo waited 3 days and then went to the hotel and said, "We want to get the footage." And you know what the hotel said? "Suck my dick." I got customers that come into my casino that don't want to be seen. Get a fucking get a warrant to get it, and then they never did.
That's why I was saying we should
So
hold the tournament accountable, not the people. Because the
I
tournament allowed
mean,
this to happen.
I'm not holding. When I say the 99%, okay, I'm talking about the people that are defending Frosty Fausting right now. That's the problem with me. The people that defend it and will turn around and say, listen, I'm on Twitter talking about fucking AI. I'm talking about fucking Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. I'm not out looking for the OBS drama, but this fell into my lap and it made me go, wow, really? Like these motherfuckers actually spiked it. So I did start.
What I don't understand is how are people even defending this? Like this is like, you can't really defend it. It's just bad. It should not have happened. It should have been prevented. You can't really defend it. How are there
No, you
people even
can't.
defending this
And,
happening?
because they're this, and again, this is like when you tell a gamer, get a job, and they go, "Oh, this is my job." And they get all mad, or like when they put video games on ESPN and all the fucking assholes were crying from saying, "What is video games doing on here?" It's a sports channel. It works multifaceted when people complain. When you're what you consider your hobby gets diminished, you tend to lash out. So when Frosty Faustings is getting a fucking ass whooping about this, they're naturally going to defend it. You know,
But
just like
but hold on a second. Are the tournament organ when you say defend, are you saying they're defending people spiking people's drinks and they're okay with that? Do you have evidence for this insane statement that you're making?
they didn't say they're okay with it. They
Okay,
said
then why are you saying any of this stuff? That's
he
that's.
said it could fucking happen anywhere. They're making an excuse. That's
But
what they're
James,
doing.
this is James. If somebody at my company put something in my drink and it was just some random guy, like you don't blame administration for it because they might not have even known about it or they don't know to what extent that happened. Like you're like blaming.
We're not talking about a guy that put a fucking roofie in your drink. We're talking about a guy that basically committed terrorism.
Bro, it was public water that the venue provided to everybody that wasn't protected properly.
This guy,
Well,
listen,
yeah,
you want to know who this guy is? This guy is every cheesy B movies bad guy that or fucking Shredder from the Turtles. Ha ha ha! I'm gonna poison the whole New York City sewage system. That's what he did. He didn't put it in a cup for some person to drink. He put it in a jug for everybody to drink. It could have been a mass fucking, just like a mass shooting at the end of the
nobody's
day.
denying that. I'm saying you're suggesting now you're walking it back that TOs kind of knew about this and they were okay with it. That's literally what you said. Do you
No,
stand by those statements?
I never said that.
Okay, then why are you saying like that the TOs defended it? What does that mean? Defended what?
I didn't say the TOs. The people there that attended it are defending it. People
Who?
are out there going, Super Yan and a bunch of the fucking Strive and anime players, they're all out there. Well, it could happen anywhere, but it didn't happen anywhere. It happened there. To say it happened anywhere, listen, I got robbed at gunpoint. Well, it happens anyway. I don't give a fuck about everywhere else. I'm talking about here. Something needs to be done. All these Karens in the community always want something. Now you don't want it. Now you want it covered because it jeopardizes your little safe space. And it paints it in a little bit of a bad light. But you know what would paint it in a better light? You guys up and made sure this never happened again. You got proactive. You said something publicly, not basically tried to sweep it under a rug. That's what I'm saying. The TOs didn't know. The TOs knew about it because I got the jugs before taping and then after taping. I got two pictures sent to me from somebody that was there that said, these are the jugs before, then these are the jugs after. And you could see they put a piece of and not too much of an effort, I must say. They just took two pieces of gaffing tape and put it on the sides as if you couldn't just lift the tape and pour it in again. You know, but I'm sure they also had, I would hope they had somebody that sat by it or at least tell the security guard to stay near it. But, you know, I'm not saying they're sweeping. I'm telling you as an after effect. There's like the only reason it really got public is because of Twitter. That's where it got its legs. Now, I know you think, you know, Twitter's a cesspool, and I tend to agree. But there's a lot of truth that goes on there as much as there is bullshit. And if 100 people said the water was spiked, and people that, to be quite honest, I don't like, believe it or not, that statement that you said, you know, with me, the 99%, blah, 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 people that hate me are mad they got to agree with me. It bothers them more that they feel agreeing with me on something is a bad thing. Maybe I don't articulate like a proper educator. I talk like a motherfucker that sounds like I'm from Brooklyn and fucking got an education in fucking Sing Sing. But the point is, I'm not stupid either. You know, don't convey my fucking Brooklyn accent as a dumb motherfucker. And the simple fact is, they should have called the cops immediately. I know it becomes a headache because you're running an event and you want it to go smooth, and just like the dumb motherfucking captain on the Titanic, he didn't want to tell the motherfuckers they hit an iceberg. We'll make it. We got this. Until it was too late. He dodged a bullet where people didn't drop on the floor, but there are people that are saying they got sick. Those people, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go fucking dig up Johnny Cochran and start
James,
trying to sue everybody.
again, nobody's for holding these people accountable. I think what we're discussing and what we're disagreeing on are like the specifics, right? Like, what was the proper administrative response to this, or what would have been, right? And I think at this point I'd agree that they should have handled it better, right? So we're not actually disagreeing that
That's what we've
much.
been
'Cause it's
saying since
really
the
not,
beginning, though. Like it should have
yeah.
been handled way
I mean, it's
better.
not, I'm just against, as we know in the FGC, a lot of people have get blamed for sometimes for the wrong reasons, and they suffer for a long time. I'm against that.
But
Would
who,
I even like?
Dave? You keep saying that, but we've not blamed one individual. We don't even know who it was. We're just saying
What
what should.
exactly? That's what I'm saying. There needs to be an investigation before people open their mouth and say,
Why
"Oh,
does there need
this
to be
guy
an
did it."
investigation to be like, hey man, Frosty Faustings
There's,
fucked up here. We should talk about this, and people need to be aware.
you heard it. Why there needs to be investigation before we say, "Okay, this guy did it based on evidence." This whole
What are you?
podcast
I'm talking about the tournament,
has
bro. Who's the
yes.
guy you're
So
talking about?
you literally heard Rio just say, like, why does that need to be investigation? I don't know, to find the people who did this so we can hold them
I said,
accountable. What is
why does
this?
there need to be an investigation before we talk about this issue at the tournament? Like, why can't we hold the
We
tournament
have been
accountable
talking about
now?
for like literally an hour and a half. How much do you want to talk about more? Like 5 hours? Like how much more do we need to spend on this before we get to actually the gameplay aspect of what we usually discuss? You let me
Because you
know.
seem to not think it's a big deal. That water
It
was
is a big deal.
spiked,
You said
bro.
it
Like
wasn't a
again,
big
I
deal.
don't know. Are we waiting for someone to drink something so dangerous that they die before we're like, yeah, this is fucked up. Let's try to do something about it.
What do you mean? I don't think it's a. If I don't think it's a big deal, I would not be talking about this. Again, guys, an hour, almost approaching an hour and 20 minutes. We've been talking about this. And Rio says, I'm ignoring this topic. Nobody's ignoring this topic. I'm more
I never
concerned.
said no one's ignoring this topic. What are you talking about?
Okay, my point is this. I am all for accountability, as I keep mentioning it for the 10th time, 20th, 30th time. I just think we need to be responsible before we blame people because God, Lord
Who is the
knows.
person that we're blaming? You keep saying that. But who are we blaming? Name
Well,
one name that
nobody,
we
and
threw out there.
nobody's. Well,
Then why
you
do you keep
said,
saying, guys,
you
we need
know,
to be careful before we talk about this because we don't want to blame the
well,
wrong person? But we're not naming any
James made the
people.
James made the comment the TOs defend this. Like that's a serious fucking statement. Like you're saying they defended the people pouring uh alcohol
Dude,
and people.
listen. Maybe the language
That's an
barrier.
accusation. That means they were involved in the.
Maybe our language barrier is not working right now. I never said that. I
You did
said
say it on the
the
podcast.
people. No, I did not. You could rewind it a million times. I said the people that are on Twitter right now bitching that the shit was spiked. There's other people that attended the event that are making excuses that it's not that big of a deal. And they're basically saying that, don't blame the TO. It could happen anywhere. I'm not saying they're making excuses for it to get spiked. I'm saying they're downplaying it in a way that it doesn't hurt the brand of the TO, as if anybody should even give a fuck about that at this moment. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're defending the TOs in the sense that they did something or that somebody did something. They're defending it as if they're downplaying it, just like when Honeybee sucker punched Sonic Fox and Pig of the Hut and all of them said, I'm a fucking asshole, I don't know what I'm talking about. And then I talked to every player that was at the summit of time, including Rick from Twitch in Compton, and they all told me it happened. But I just casually on a Tuesday morning woke up and said, pinky in the brain here. What can I do to fuck the world? Let me make up Honeybee punching Sonic Fox. We know that didn't happen. Same premise here. I don't know who did it. But again, one of their people or people have been saying they do know and they're not telling anybody. They make no statements whatsoever. You don't have to tell me who it is at this moment, but I need to know you're doing something. At least give me the illusion. So for Evo, when they roofied, at least they pretended to care until they realized it's not going to be a 2-minute job where they're just going to go in and fucking hit rewind on the tape and go, see, there he is, get him, go grab him to get it done. Once they realize, oh, no, you got to go to the police station and you got to get a warrant, then you got to get the fucking, go to court and get the fucking record subpoenaed, and then you got to hope that the cameras that they got are actually all working, versus do they back up, or do when they get to a certain point, do they overwrite the previous footage once it fills up? There's a lot of variables to it, but one thing that was a variable that should have happened, that didn't happen, the police should have been called immediately. And that's all I'm saying. It shouldn't have been, we're investigating it, we're checking the water. Burrito should be telling me, yeah, man, when fucking I was drinking the water and shit, I seen like 15, 20 cops walking around. But you know why you won't do that? Because your event might get shut down. That's
No, no, that's true. That's true. But Twitter is not the jury. They're not the court of law. If they were, and if at some point they become the court of law, which certain countries they're already arresting people if you say the right thing. I don't want to live in that country. So I think again, I'm for accountability. I'm for evidence, and I hope the right people are arrested and held
and
accountable.
we keep saying guy, you know, it could be a girl. It's
No, yeah, it
2026.
could
Anybody can do
it
anything.
could be it could be anybody for sure. I think everything is in the, or everyone in this case is in the everything is in the realm of possibility. I just want more evidence, and I hope that uh, at least, at the very least, they can look at the cameras and find a perpetrator.
Dude, I think you got all the evidence you need. I don't think they're going to show you the camera footage.
No, they will if they do it, but they're not going to show you the camera footage because you asked.
No, I mean, they're
You
not going to
got-
show Dave the
Correct.
camera footage. I think we should hold the tournament accountable.
Who's the
Now,
tournament? Like
I
the
hope,
tournament organizers? Hold on, because Rio's
yeah.
been talking a lot. Like Rio, who's the tournament? Like you mean the administration, the tournament
Frosty
organizers?
Faustings, the tournament of where this event took place.
Okay,
Elvin
but
Shack.
you have to be specific. You can't beat around the bush. The tournament, who? Like the people who ran the event?
Elvin Shadow, the guy who runs it and owns it.
Who? Yes, the
James, I
person that ran
understand you.
Frosty Faustings.
Okay, that, just want to get that on record. I'm okay with that.
Like, I don't think I have to be there to drink contaminated water to be annoyed by this.
And that's the one thing that did bother
Like,
me.
why do I have to sit there and drink a bunch of this shit to then be mad about it? I don't understand that
That's
logic.
what Rio just said is partially what made me rage a little bit with the 99%, just to clarify. When I had people hitting me up going, well, you can't talk because you weren't even there. Oh, now you know why I don't go to your fucking events anymore. Between people getting raped and roofied and drugged and people shitting in hallways, every fucking room smells like fucking weed.
James, that has been going around for.
Rappers on the ground.
I understand that. My point. But then don't tell me, not you. I'm just saying to these people that are bitching, don't tell me what I can and can't talk about. Listen, I'm a white cis male, but you know what I'll talk about? 2 fucking lesbians in their relationship. Fuck you, suck my dick. Ain't nobody gonna tell me who and what I can't talk about. If I talk about it from a place of just talking about it and you get offended, that's on you. I usually,
James,
believe it or not, I try not to offend these people, but even I have a point where I'm like, all right, I can't threaten to beat them up. I mean, I tell people all the time, come to New York. If you're really that serious and people have DM'd me, oh, I'd fuck you up. All right, come to New York. If you go past my Twitter, oh wait, you don't use it. I forgot. I actually have put my fucking exact location on GPS and said, I'm here for the day. Come see me.
James, you're talking about stuff that's honestly irrelevant. you already know how politically where I'm inclined. You argue with
Oh,
literally nobody. Like, who are you arguing with? I agree with you. Of course, you should be able to say whatever you want. I 100% support your free speech and whatever you want to say and however you want to phrase it. That's not the issue here. Like, you make it
no,
again. This is the reason
no,
why I hate these topics. I tell you,
I went
please
off on a
don't do
tangent.
this. You make it a stupid mistake.
No,
Like, I hate these social and political topics. They're so
I,
dumb.
I made that statement for the reason of get enough of that bullshit, and that's why I call 99% of the fucking FGC retards. Plain and simple.
Look, I
Because of
support
that.
your right to say it. That doesn't mean I will not criticize you.
Listen, I have no issue with you criticizing me. I don't take issue with that. If you feel that way, I'm sorry you feel that way. You got a better chance getting me to quit smoking than changing my opinion. And I've only been smoking 42 years.
Well, I hope you live for another 40 years if you're smoking and don't get cancer. But I have to tell you this: my criticism of you, and maybe I've never articulated this with you personally or even publicly. You are a social topic political kind of guy. That's all you literally talk about. And I hate those type of topics. And when Tom did it with, this guy's making this much money and he thinks he's making this much money, but I know his bank account. Like, Tom, shut the hell up. That's not any of your business. If people want to play fighting games and then by the time they're 30, they want to realize they're broke, they have no health insurance, they have no savings, that's on them. That's what we call agency. If anything,
Yeah,
I'm making the conservative argument here, and I should be flamed. Like, I'm saying, you make a mistake, and I made mistakes. There's a reason why I'm not married. Why? Because I spent too much time playing video games. You don't see me trashing the FGC like, oh, you single motherfuckers, all of you suck, all of you are losers. Like, I don't talk like
no,
that.
no,
It's completely
but let me
unnecessary.
ask you this.
100%
Wait,
unnecessary.
let me ask you this though. Since you went through that, do you have any friends that were getting married and you went, hey, listen to this. Don't make the mistakes I made. Have you ever done that?
Of course.
That's what I'm doing, just in an angrier way. You're Daniel LaRusso. I'm fucking Johnny. You want to make everybody flow with the wind. I'm like, I'll fucking punch you through the wind. Do it the
I'm not
right
making
way.
I'm not making anybody flow with the wind. Actually, I've spoken to
I
people.
know. I know.
James, I've spoken to people that I care about. I'm not going to mention the names, right? Like, it's like, guys, don't do this. Don't drop out of college. Don't drop out of high school. Uh, do not engage. Don't as smart. By engage, I mean do not make this your career. You're just looking for suffering. You're gonna regret it, right? Like, guys, in life, there's such thing as a clock, right? Yeah, you're in your mid 20s and it feels great, and you're in the best health of your life, and you feel like you're invincible. One day you'll turn 40 and you'll be like me, and the clock is ticking. If you want to start a family, you don't have that much time, right? A girl can't get pregnant when she's fucking 50, right? You have to make a decision. Is this going to happen or not, right? It's the same thing with
Mm-mm.
college. You're not going to go to 50 when you're not going to go to college when you're 50. I mean, can it happen? Yes, but it's probably not, right? Because that's not when you're the most mentally sharp. But I'm not going to lecture people about this every podcast because I think it's kind of pointless. If you don't know that, I think that says a lot about the lack of maybe parenting that you do not have, or the lack of counseling, etc., etc. Like, it's not my job to lecture people about life. That's not what this podcast is for. That's why I always tell Rio, please, please, please do not talk about these topics. It's not that they matter. It's just like, dude, we're not preachers. We're fighting game players. If people need advice, contact me on Twitter privately and I will give you my piece of advice. And I assure you, I will want nothing but the best for every single one of you, and I will give you my
And
piece of advice. And that's where I stand on any of these ridiculous and pointless social topics that Rio wanted to promote on this podcast today.
but see, like, and I can agree
I don't
with
even
you in your
know how
take
this is like a social topic. It's something that happened at the event that we were going to cover.
because it's not fighting game playing, is what he's saying. Like, it's not talking about Mortal
Right.
Kombat
Okay.
One.
So, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have the audience, since they're going to be listening to this. Do you guys think we should only talk about fighting game stuff and only that, and ignore any kind of crazy stuff that happens at the tournament and pretend like it never happened, and just, if that's what people want, then sure. But I feel like we're going to talk about tournament. We could talk about everything regarding, if something crazy happened like this, along with the gameplay stuff.
One time I was at Combo Breaker and I ate Chipotle and I had to take a shit, so I shit in the fire. But you see now, like what Dave said, though, I can completely understand that. But you want to know something with me, and I don't put it out there publicly, but I get the DMs from people. You know what? You come off like a dick, and I know I do. But I finally listen to you. Instead of thinking you were just a lunatic yelling at people and preaching like you're better than us, I took your advice. I got a job. I'm doing this. I still play games, but I don't play them like I did. I tell everybody the same thing. We all get 15 minutes of fame in the gaming universe. When it's up, it's up. You could come back a million times. I didn't win nothing, didn't have to. But when that 15 minutes is up, it's up. And the time that you have after that and what you prepare for makes a difference. My biggest mistake was when I was younger. I didn't invest in my 401. So I had to, as you said, how quick 20s to 40s. In my 40s, I had to fucking up my fucking 401 to 19, almost 22% at times of my paycheck. Just so I can get enough when I retire, I'm good off. You say 40s. I was talking to Bill. I was talking to Brady, and we were talking about it. And I said, I was talking to somebody else, Bill. And I said, damn, you're pushing the 50s. And then I realized, what the fuck am I talking about? I'm pushing 60. I'm pushing 60 and I'm still hanging around with. How old are you, Burrito? You got to be in your late 20s.
24. Maybe 25 in July.
Yeah. Yeah. How old's your pop?
63.
All right, he's older than me. Woo! I feel good. Dude, I've dated chicks, and they're like, yeah, my dad's 45. I'm like, I'm fucking like 15 years older than your dad. But they are legal. Just put that out there for the fucking weirdos. But it's time happens, it goes fast. And you're right, Dave. Political shit, I don't like talking about politics. Again, everybody wants to assume they know me, and I just let people think whatever the fuck they want. It was funny. Like I said, funny stories with me and Sonic years ago when he turned around to me and he hit me up one day at an event and he's like, Jimmy, I got to unfollow you. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah. He goes, because of your stance on gay marriage. I'm going, what? He goes, well, you're conservative. I said, okay, go on. He goes, well, your stance on gay marriage. I said, so let me know what my stance is, please. And he's like, well, you're conservative, so obviously. I said, no. I said, listen, if you gay motherfuckers want to make the same mistake as us heterosexual guys and marry somebody, have at it. You'll only end up divorced the same as we do. I said, I have no reason to be against it. He goes, yeah, but my Twitter followers. And I said, you know what? I said, Sonic, Dominique, do what you got to do. I don't hold it against you. That's the way I am. I'm like, and then I proceeded to tell him, I go, what's my sexuality? And he's like, what? He goes, you were married. I said, so was Tom Cruise and John Travolta. What's your point? And he's like, really? I said, maybe I'm into young black guys. He starts blushing on me. I'm like, nah, I'm just fucking with you. I'm straight as an arrow, motherfucker. I said, do what do what's best for you. I don't have an ill word to say about Dominique. Do I agree with some of his stances and stuff? No. Does that mean I want him hurt? No. I don't want people hurt for their beliefs. Plain and simple. So like the political side of this, I don't care who you are. I got 3 simple rules. Don't hurt women, don't hurt kids, don't hurt animals. After that, you motherfuckers could dress up in loincloths and play Conan the Barbarian and slash each other to death. I don't care. But just don't hurt those 3. And maybe I come off mean, like I said, and again, I can't take it back because I still believe 99%. But obviously that stuck out to you, and it's like I would hope you would knew that was like an exaggerated number,
But
especially from talking to me.
my, again, you're not. Look,
Your mic's low, dude.
sorry, I'm known as the guy, who defends armor and zoning, and you mentioned you got called a Nazi. Welcome to the club, brother. Uh, Rio is, he has his own stuff about, what's scrubby and what isn't. He likes the fast movement. Like that's kind of what I like to focus on. I'm not saying that we should never discuss any social topics ever, right? But like, dude, we had like 5 episodes about Lex and Tom Brady. Like, uh, and
But
Rio
that
wants
was
to
like
Well,
months
like,
ago.
well, I know, but to me, it seems like
The
yesterday.
last
Because
4 or 5 episodes we did were all strictly gameplay.
well,
I
that's
don't know
kind
where
of
you're
what I want to
getting
focus.
this every episode just social topics. Like whose
Well, I
podcast are
try.
you talking
These
about?
type of episodes are not my favorite. In fact, they're like my least favorite, and I don't like to engage in them because I don't want to talk about politics and like because essentially when you
Okay,
talk
when
about
I think
social
of
topics,
social topics, I think of topics that have nothing to do with the tournament or video game or anything. It's just random as shit. This has
I
to do
mean,
with the tournament. That's
true,
why
but
it's being
eventually,
discussed.
but James again mentioned that he's being called all these names that are essentially political in nature, right? Like he's being, called a Trump supporter, a Nazi, et cetera, et cetera. Which, by the way, I disagree with every single one of these the denominations, right? I think he's none of those things. And if he is, look, it's a free country; he can believe whatever he wants to believe, which I don't think he does. At least, to the extent that he's being called a
I
Nazi, I think
can't. You know what the worst part is? I want to make such wise ass remarks, and I just won't.
that. We
Just
gotta we
because
gotta keep you on the leash, James. So you don't get us banned. But look, man, look,
I,
man.
if it
I'm
was
just
my
saying.
stream,
Uh,
if it was my stream, I would have.
no, trust me. All I'm saying is
Bro,
that.
I'll say this. If
Uh,
I was in the desert and I was dehydrated, I need some water, I wouldn't even touch Frosty Faustings spiked water. Like I would just die from
Brad.
thirst.
I just piss in a cup and drink it.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than touch the Frosty Frosting spiked water.
James, my criticism of you has always been, I've always said this to Rio. Like you talk about these social topics nonstop. I mean, that's really what the On Blast show is known for. Like you're not the
Yeah,
guy to talk about like, hey, we have
talking about
oh,
fucking frame data because that shit don't exist to me.
well, no, I fair enough, but like that's kind of like kind of what we're known for. And Tom Brady at his best is not the Tom Brady that I've seen in the last 2 years going on Mike's podcast and talking about how much money does he have in his bank account. It's like, dude, shut your mouth. You know nothing about his bank account, first of all. And who are you to criticize Nee or Oz and Ash and their way of living? Like you are not as good. You've never been as good as they are, and you just don't deserve that right. And even if they're broke, guess what? That's on them. That's their agency. They should be able to make mistakes and learn from them,
Yeah,
especially when he was my age, was 40. So I'm not a fan of these topics.
Wait, and he's only
I do
40? I
believe
thought it was way older than that.
Knees, I think 40. And ours and Nash is like in his late 20s, I want to say. But anyway, the point is, my favorite Brady was the time, he talks about the ice club, makes a 30-minute video, goes into the details, and goes completely crazy about, like that's what I want to hear. Those are my favorite topics in the FGC. Like talk about the gameplay. If people like need financial help in this, financial advice, they need this. I mean, I'll be happy to provide it to them. I don't think I'm the best example, but I want everybody to live a happy and a meaningful life. I'm going to help you, and I've done that, to my friends in my real life. But I don't think it's our job to preach about. Okay, let me tell you some financial advice. Let me tell you how you should be living your life. Let me tell you when you should marry. That's not up to me, guys. You make your own choices. You make your own decisions, and you will make mistakes, and sometimes you will
But what are
not.
you
And I think
who's giving people financial advice on how to live their life? What are you even talking about?
Tom Brady on Mike's podcast for 6 hours for some reason. I don't know why.
you just admit it. You're mad that you didn't invest in silver. You could have got $100 an ounce, and you fucked up.
No, I'm actually happy with how I'm doing financially. It's just that I'm not gonna make that the focus of any podcast that wherever I'm invited, whether it's King Juniors or Mike's or even this one. I think it's not up to us to be preachers. we're fighting game players. You want to be a preacher? Well, go into
See,
counseling. Be a
I,
social
I,
worker.
I differ in opinions on that a little bit, again, because I don't know how many mistakes you made, but I've made so many mistakes in my life. If I can help people avoid making the same mistake, like for example, certain mistakes, fuck you, you're on your own. You date a girl, she turns out to be a big whore, and everybody's like, she's a whore, and you're like, no, she loves me. And then you walk in on a bang of 35 guys, and you're like, oh shit, she's a whore. You live that one out. But like, then there's the other type of mistake. Hey, listen, don't drink and drive, dude. I got a DWI and fucking almost killed 4 people. And then you go out and do it anyway. That's a mistake that I don't want you to repeat that maybe I've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain mistakes can't be erased with a pencil and a couple of stitches to the heart. And one of the things that, for me, and again, it's different strokes, different folks. The friends that I've met in the FGC over the last 40 years, wouldn't change it for the world. But the routes that I took in my life, absolutely. And if I see somebody heading in a direction, whether it's, again, I made no qualms about, I went to jail, been in jail. It doesn't make me a tough guy. It means I was stupid at what I was doing and got caught. So clearly a career as a criminal was not my path. If I see somebody going in that direction, I'll tell them, like, it's like you say, like, as a teacher, you're going to see stuff with your students, but hey, I seen you pulling, Karen's hair over there. Stop doing that. It's basically kind of the same premise, but it's like, it's therapeutic for me, I guess you could say. When I see somebody, again, I don't want to fucking rain on this parade. Rio needed work. I got Rio a job. Rio was working. Rio was doing his thing. I was like, cool. Now he left that job and continued on. But before that, he was roping out and playing fucking Mortal Kombat 9 his whole life. Making the big banging fucking $1,000 a fucking month or whatever the hell it was, $200 a month from his super sponsors. And he moved on. And when I see that,
back then, you would win and barely make like $100.
But seeing people move on, but move on happy, not move on because they're miserable, but move on because they're happy. Like I see CD Jr. came back. I'm glad he's back. I hope he, what he's trying to achieve, he achieves. I've told him, the IRL, 30, like you said, 30 and 40-year-old guys, you say, maybe I'll have a kid. You're not going to have a kid meeting somebody in the FGC. You're not gonna. So it's like, you need to, especially because, and again, I've had people agree and disagree. We're gamers. No matter what walk of life we've come from, we're all kind of socially inept to a degree. To a degree, not extreme. Maybe you're not good at talking to chicks. Maybe you're not fucking, you have no Mac game. Maybe you're not, mechanically or electrically or whatever type of thing that you want to do. Maybe you're not inclined or good at it, but you want to be. You're not going to do that by pissing away too much time because, like you said, you're a man, you want to have a kid, maybe 2 kids, a wife, and fucking you want to retire. You don't want to have to be 85 years old getting up at 6 in the morning to go to Walmart to say, hey guys, welcome to Walmart at the front door. Those are guys that fucking got screwed because at 70 years old, they shouldn't have to be working. And that's where I come from. Even though it comes off a lot more angrier, it gets frustrating. But I also get the reward of, for every person that calls me a piece of shit, I'll get 1 or 2 of those people that say, you know what, you really helped me out in the dark time. I've had people hit me up saying, you got me through my job. I worked the midnight shift in a fucking warehouse, and I would listen to all 500 of your episodes of the OBS show. To me, it's beyond flattering. It's like, it's a fucking rush, dude. It's like, to me, it's a rush to have somebody give you that pat on the back, like you didn't even try to help me, but you helped me. Now I used to make the mistake when my money was good. I was fucking putting $1,000 pop bonuses into fucking, not even talking the Mortal Kombat shit, the fucking weirdo anime people, Biggie or fucking one of these other events, to be like, hey, we got here, put $1,000 in it. What dissuaded me from it is like, I never got a thank you. And that's all it takes. Thanks. Hey, Jamessmk from the OBS show put $1,000 into Guilty Gear. Once you stop getting that, yes, I get bitter. I won't lie. It makes me bitter. When Test Your Might made a Jamessmk appreciation thread, I was like, get the fuck out of here. I never asked for something like that. I just want people to do the right thing. And that's it. Now, I want people to play games too. I don't want to ever talk about frame data because that's bullshit. Real gamers don't need frames. We play on feeling. We're Luke Skywalker on that original shot into the Death Star. We do it by feeling and getting your ass beat 1,000,000 times by doing the same stupid thing over and over until you finally realize it ain't going to work. But again, it's like, I have no ill will towards a lot of people. Like, I mean, I don't even know. I think if me and Burrito ever even interacted, I don't think so.
There was a summer. I was really young, so I might not even have facial hair. But I think I met you at X Battles 2015 during the Yomi days.
The Yomi days.
I think that's one of the few times I can remember encountering you.
Damn, that was 10 years ago.
I don't think we talked much, but I want to say Tom might have been there too. I think it was like,
which tournament?
It was that. Do you remember X Battles venue? It's like the Clarion Hotel that they had Summer Jam, and
yes,
it was that place that I seen you. That was my first time.
I remember that. Jupiter was there too.
Yeah.
Jupiter. What happened to him?
I mean, sadly, he lost interest during MKX and then decided, I guess, move on. And I felt so bad for him. This is a random Jupiter story, but I remember one time he was playing. Man, what tournament was this? It wasn't X Battle. It was a different tournament. It was like the second year of MKX before. This is, I think, the last tournament I ever saw Jupiter at. And he was playing against somebody, and it was for top 8. And then it was such a close match. It went down to the last round. It was both 2-2. Final round, they both had like 5% life left. Jupiter was next to him. He was playing Jax. He went to go throw this guy, but then his throw just whiffed on him. And then he was like, he looked so like confused. Like his hand was in there. He was like, what? The dude, the grab whiffed. The guy beat him, and then he like popped off. Everybody was like, yeah. And then I went up to Jupiter and I was like, damn, dude, I feel so bad for you. You got the MKX bug. Where when people are transitioning from standing or crouch block sometimes in this game, there's a specific frame where if you go to throw them, even though they're still blocking, the throw randomly whiffs. Like, I felt so bad for Cooper, and he was like, what? I didn't even know the game had that. I'm like, yeah, you never hear people talk about it, but it's a bug that's been in the game still to this day. And that was the last time I ever saw Jupiter, but he just looked like...
I've actually never heard of that bug before. Is that really a thing?
Yes, it's a real thing. And that was my last memory of Jupiter. I felt so bad for him to go out like that. He got robbed because the game had a stupid bug in it, not because he actually got outplayed. He made the right read. He went to throw somebody they were blocking because they went from crouch block to stand block on the frame. His throw whiffed point blank, and then he got punished.
That was like Webster with the fucking in MK9 at Seasons Beatings that year, telling everybody there's no input bug. Yeah. There's no input bug. Shit. And he goes outside. There was you know how like instead of putting a stop sign in the ground, they'll get like a little garbage can, fill it with cement, and put the stop sign in that. Mm-hmm. There was one of those in the parking lot, and Webster was a big boy. That motherfucker punched that stop sign, and it had to have been like 20 pounds of fucking cement in it, and that shit went like the distance of a parking space in the air.
Yeah.
And I went, I don't think I want to fuck with this one. I'll buy you a
that's
drink.
fun.
I don't drink. I was like, all right, no problem. Buy you a Coke, a shake, milkshake.
I'm gonna have to make a video of that eventually, though, and then reveal that MKX bug before that happens to someone at Combo Breaker, because that shit is it's bound to steal another game from somebody sooner than later.
Yeah, I seriously, for the time I played MKX, I've never heard of that. I mean, I want to
Yeah, well, I
ask,
mean, it's
like, are
like
you
it's like
sure
it's like
are you sure
executing a just frame.
Jupiter's like,
No,
are you
bro, that's why
sure
I showed
Jupiter's
my own
opponent didn't
eyes.
like
That's why I
micro
showed
duck
no.
or like,
There was no micro ducking. Let's stop. No, my motherfucker was blocking the whole time. I know
or
exactly what I saw that
like
shit.
you know how Katana's crouching hurt box like makes her lean backwards a lot more
No,
than her
dude, no.
like
It
I didn't
happened
know
on
if that was
Kung
like one
Lao.
of
It happened
those.
on Kung Lao. The character who's playing it, the MKX has, I'm telling you, it has this bug. It's been there forever. Like, that happened to me during 2015 when I went to go throw a bitch and that shit with, and I was like, what? He was blocking. Then I remember labbing that shit, and I was like, wait a minute. This game has a random just frame where your throw will whiff if they're randomly machine gunning up and down block in your face.
Damn, I guess I just never noticed or
Yeah, I'll make a
never ran
video about
into
it eventually, and I have more clips of it. By the way, it happened even in one of the Destroyers tournaments when I was watching. It happened to Wise Gemini versus Revit Leafing. Wise Gemini went to go throw him. It was Tanya. Revit Leafing went from crouch block to stand block to like fuzzy 50-50, and the throw whiffed, and then Wise Gemini lost. And I was like, oh my god, it's still people are still losing to it. Yeah, I feel
Well, I
bad,
think
man. When people lose
like
games because of a glitch, that's the worst way to lose a fighting game.
like James kind of said, for like the overwhelming majority in the FGC, everybody's gonna have their 15 minutes of fame, and once that expires, it's over. And I'm just gonna put, for the sake of our guest here, Franco, who's a type of a command throw, player who likes to use grapplers. Uh, Snake Eyes, easily one of the best players to ever did it. Right, it with Zangief in Street Fighter 4 and to a lesser extent Street Fighter 5. His placing in Street Fighter 6 are almost non-existent, right? And I think that speaks volumes for a player of his talents, which again goes to the premise that almost everybody after we have our 15 minutes of fame, and that's about it. Mine wasn't Evo 2012 with Freddy, and that was it, right? Like once that expires, it's over. That's essentially it, right? That's like overwhelming majority again, and then you have um, a very small minority of lucky players who are extremely, incredibly talented, like Sonic Fox, Nee, Arzen Ash, et cetera, right? Who can make this somewhat career, but even that's an overstatement. And I believe that's the reality of the FGC. And if you don't play your cards right, even when you're those guys, you can still be broken. You can still be broke. So that's, I think, the lesson learned here.
Never compete for a car because you can't afford it, and fucking you'll wind up having to sell it anyway. Just compete for the money matches. Fucking don't take prizes. Prizes suck. Half the people that ever won on the Price is Right are like, yeah, I don't want to go to Aruba, motherfucker. Give me the cash.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap it up, Rio. I hope you're okay with that last word.
Well,
I think
if you
we've
guys can, like, really quickly talk about
yeah.
something, because I do want to. I'm looking for a clip right now to put on
Go ahead.
streams. I want Franco to see this, but I haven't found it yet.
What is it? What is it about? Can you give the audience?
MKX, I could show Franco because it happened.
Oh,
yeah.
the throw glitch.
I mean, since we got to talk about something, I think I could probably body Dave and
Oh my
Tekken.
god, I found it! I
I
found it. This was here. Oh wait, never mind. I didn't find it. Hold on.
I think my king can fuck you up, Dave.
Tekken 8.
I said my Tekken 8, absolutely. 8 and 7.
Bro.
1, 2, and 3. Up to 4. I stopped after 4. 5, 6, I didn't like.
It's funny, James, you mentioned that. Master D, who's my cousin and one of my best friends and my training partner at FGC, we were just talking about Tekken
Oh,
and
really? He's your cousin, Master DOA.
no, Master,
With
like the the Mortal Kombat player, like whatever the Tekken player. He got top 8 in a couple of season
Oh,
beatings.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Um. In fact, I think did he beat the the master himself? Slips at one point. I forget, but one of those tournaments. But anyway, like that's a franchise to me that's been completely ruined by the community and their thirst for uh just
I could
see, that's to me again, it's a far more
one
interesting topic than this
thousand percent
garbage that
agree.
Rio brings upon us that we have to
Yeah.
talk to like for the past almost 2 hours. Like such a great franchise. I believe Tekken 8 an underrated game. Obviously not perfect, not for everybody. The community wanted to boycott it. Not everybody, obviously. The content creators are despicable. I haven't watched any of them in like years. Main
best
Man
way.
Speak, complete piece of trash. Uh, the others not so much better. I think VDX is probably the best one of them. Even he cries too much. Such a great franchise ruined by the community. Again, an underrated game. Um,
I mean,
obviously,
they didn't make Harada leave, but they helped him leave.
yeah, exactly. I think they wanted him to leave, and he should. Speaking of Tekken, by the way, obviously the Tekken 8 just had its Tekken World
Tekken
Tour
War.
with yeah, and I watched most of the matches, and Harada was actually there to promote the season 3, and you guys can check that out. I'm sure you already have who the characters are. Again, I love Tekken. It's one of my favorite fighting game franchises. Enough gaming, video gaming franchises, as a whole. And I think that's the type of stuff I really want to talk about because they try to boycott the game. Uh, Not my favorite topic. Again, people were threatened for likening for likening season 2. It was a controversy, and yeah, I just hate to see stuff like that, man.
What was funny is during the Tekken World Tour, while it was going on,
Yeah,
once they made the announcements, somebody hit up Harada on Twitter and was like, can you put? So I forgot who they said. This time he could actually say, he said, "Was I not clear? Don't
yeah,
ask me for shit."
yeah, yeah. This time he's actually
And he ended
he's
it with
powerless.
really. He said, "Really?" Explanation point. I feel bad because he's my age, and I've known him fucking forever, and like it was cool to see him grow the way he did grow within the Tekken franchise to get to the position he's in. And I'll be honest, I think I did 5. Was at in the Dark Resurrection. It was okay, but like my strongest memories are 3, 7, and 8. I never liked Tag, to be honest. I just never. In fact, I got Tag still wrapped up in Tag 2, still wrapped up. I never even opened it.
Tekken Tag
But
1 was amazing.
but my thing with Tekken 8 and like I hate the heat system, but I'm a fucking whore with it too. It's just how I use it versus how everybody else uses it. Everybody else uses it to carry it to the corner,
Yeah.
hopefully in a shitty access point where you're not left and you're not right. You're like in the middle of it. And then you get hit with 50-50s. And it's like, you could try to down swipe, hoping they would, oh no, it's an overhead. And then they hit you with so many fucking fruity colors going on. Like when you play like fucking Devil Jin comes in and all of a sudden there's fire spinning around them. And I'm like, is that a high? Is it a low? No, it's a mid. Is it a mid? No. Oh, it's an overhead. Fucking asshole. I fucking I get blown up. But I can't get mad at it because I'm like, my play style will allow you to do that. Because I could do the carry with King, but I don't. I'd rather get you in the cradle of death and piss you off. I love doing that to people. They're like, Jesus
Oh yeah,
Christ, you get that.
yeah.
They're like, you get that out easy. I'm like, 60%, baby, 70% gone. Enjoy. And I didn't even go heat yet, motherfucker.
No, I never knew you actually play Tekken. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I play everything. I just don't. Obviously, with the name Jamessmk and working on the originals, that my name is buried to that. But I played Street Fighter before I played that. I got a pretty mean Dalsim and a Ken. Those are like the two guys I used. I was never a fucking tick throwing motherfucking Zangief player. I just never. I wasn't skilled enough to get in. When I played Zangief, he had no. You had the spinning clothesline was the only way you could get in sometimes. Now they give you the fucking hand swat and this and that. I'm like, that's why when you said Snake Eyes, I'm like, yeah, that motherfucker made fucking Zangief look fucking like a god.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, he was such a great player, yet.
What happened? Did he just leave? Or is
No,
he still playing?
I think he still plays just like casually. I think what happens, honestly, and this is a social topic.
To be fair, Street Fighter 4 Zangief is very different from the newer Zangief. Doesn't even have green hand.
True. But when you have the driver system, I mean, do you really need a green hand? It kind of like does the same thing, right? More or less. Yeah. So I think like once you hit a certain age, for most people, it's probably like low 30s. You kind of realize if you're still playing fighting games, like you're screwed for the rest of your life. Even let's just say casually, in the sense that you're investing, I don't know, like 2 hours a day or something. So like most people, like obviously, if you want to get a real job, you have to head out. If you want to
He was in Tanya's block animation.
That's probably the time to do it, right? Like, so you don't have all this time to mess around anymore, and I think that's kind of like the reality check for a lot of the people in the FGC, not just in the FGC, probably video gaming in general, right? If you want to take your life seriously, you have to step away from gaming and play it as a hobby at best while you're working, dating, working out, staying healthy, and just taking care of life in general.
I'll tell you, dude, politically speaking, I lied to my ex-wife. I would say to her, no, I don't want to have a baby while the Democrat's president. And then all of a sudden, Bush gets in. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to have one with a Republican either. I said, I'm waiting for an independent.
Yeah, you'll be waiting for a long time for that one.
Still waiting.
Yeah, you'll be waiting for an eternity.
Oh, God. I remember her fucking, I want a baby. I'm like, I don't know. Go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac.
Wow. Do you have kids or not?
No kids. Nope. Never spawned. Now I'm going to have to go to like Thailand and pick up like a 25-year-old.
James, you're crazy, man.
I mean, listen, I'll have fun trying. Shit, I could be sterile for all I know. I never even got tested for that. Be shooting blanks. I'm like, I don't care. At least I have fun trying with a 25-year-old.
No, absolutely. Rio, let's wrap it up.
I have so many clips on my channel. It's ridiculous, but I know it's in here somewhere. There's a clip of this was from 6 years ago. 6 years ago, during MK11, when I was watching an MKX tournament, it happened in front of everybody, and even the commenters like, "What just happened?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" Even they don't know. So I know it's in here somewhere. It's clipped. It's just I have like a million clips. I'm trying to go through all of them. It's on my Twitch clips. Like I found one part of the video. Like I'll play the audio right here.
We're not doubting. MKX has issues. Like who's
this is not even a video to find it has an issue. It's a video to find that there's a bug that can. You have to be very careful throwing an MKX sometimes. Not because they will Tector throw or duck it, but because sometimes you'll get this bug. It's very rare, but every once in a while it happens. And the reason why it got mentioned today is because we brought up Jupiter, and that's my last memory of Jupiter. Is he lost to this bug in MKX. That's why I felt so bad. I also felt bad for Wise Gemini when this happened to him. You know what? Let me just go play the goddamn video, the full set.
Yeah. Who cares about losing throws or whatever, lack of throws in MKX? That was not the game's issue.
No, you're not understanding, bro. There was a glitch in that game where when you went to go throw somebody, and ducked. I mean, not ducked. She transitioned from stand to crouch or crouch to stand. There's a specific frame during you transitioning where you're throw immune for whatever reason. That's what some people lose to sometimes. They go to throw somebody, and the other person's just blocking.
Does it just go through the throw animation and it goes to the body?
They do the throw and it goes through them, but they're right next to you blocking. Like, it looks ugly as hell.
That might be related to the
It's a
fact that
glitch.
throws have, not necessarily, because throws have a
What do
I
you
believe
mean, Dave?
only
It's a
one
glitch.
frame. Well, hold on a second. Throws only have one frame, I believe, of active frames.
Yes, but if
So-
you're blocking, it should be working no matter what. If you're transitioning or not, it makes no sense.
Honestly, who cares about this? Like, we know that, dude. You don't need to throw
Because
an MKX.
Franco found it interesting. He's like, really? I wanted to show him the video where it happened.
No, I just that's okay, but like that's not like a common cause of loss in MKX. You lose an MKX because some.
No one's
fool
saying
did
it's a common. I'm saying, but it's bad. People have lost tournaments because of it twice so far.
I believe that it's related to the fact that throws have only one active frame of of the entire animation.
It's not the active
If you
frames.
don't-
There's some weird like throw immune bug when you're transitioning crouch to stand or stand. Like that's what it is. It's
Again,
some bug.
there might be. I'm not disregarding you entirely, but I'm saying that's not really part of anywhere near MKX's meta, or why people are losing or winning for that matter.
But Dave, you're not understanding. I'm not saying this is why people are losing kicks tournaments. I don't know why you're phrasing it that way.
I know, but why does this matter?
Because this is the last time I saw Jupiter. And I don't blame him for not playing. Oh, I found it. Holy shit.
Confirmation.
This is about to do
I
Good.
found
Yeah, no,
it's
the
on my
reason-
stream. Hold on.
the only
Don't play
reason
on
he's
stream. I
This is
found
the only-
it. Let's watch this on stream right now. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, the only reason he's investigating is because of me.
Yeah.
But my
So
bad.
here we go.
No, he's
So
not.
here we
He's
go.
messing-
This is it. And where this says from what? 5 years ago. 5 years ago. So aside from Jupiter getting robbed by this, why is Gemini here lost because of this? Let's watch it.
Confirmation.
And then I'm gonna let what I say in this video play out my audio, because I even think in this video 5 years ago I was like, oh my god, he lost to the bug or whatever. But let's see. Franco, do you see it right now?
Where do I go to see it?
Just go to my stream real quick. I'm live streaming it. I'm gonna play the
Alright, yeah,
video
let me-
and then
Let me do that.
yeah, but I'll play it twice, I guess, so you guys can see in case you miss it. Let me know when you're there, and then I'll play. But yeah, I'm gonna make a video of this soon. That way, it's more open knowledge, because this is poor Jupiter, man. I remember his face when he was like, he was blocking. Went to go throw him wide a whiff, and I was like, dude, you don't know about the MKX throw bug.
Poor Jupiter using Martian and Justice 1. Oh my god.
He's
what a
playing
poor
Jax,
guy.
bro, in MKX. He
Yeah,
lost to...
I got your stream up.
Okay, so get ready.
whenever
Okay,
you
I'm gonna
want.
play it. I'll play it twice in case you miss it.
Confirmation.
This is about to do 40. One more mix up. What's the mix up? If he guesses right, he wins. If he guesses right on the mix up, he wins.
Oh,
Okay, -1.
no.
Why did throw whiff?
No way.
Why did throw whiff?
Oh my god.
What? He was blocking.
God.
That made no sense.
Damn, that's crazy.
The throw whiffed.
Absolute insanity. I can't. Shut it down.
Game over.
Even Revit leafing, when he noticed the throw whiffed, he wasn't there ready to do a throw punch. He was like, "Oh shit, it whiffs." Then he went to just punish him.
This is about to do 40. One more mix up. What's the mix up? If he guesses right, he wins. If he guesses right on the mix up, he wins.
Oh,
Okay,
See that? How Tani just went from crouch block to stand block? Even he didn't even realize it whiffed.
-1. Okay, -1. Why did throw whiff? Guesses right on the mix up, he wins.
oh,
Okay, -1.
Blocking
Yeah,
the
that was,
entire time. Blocking the entire time. That exact shit happened to Jupiter. But the difference with Jupiter was it was mid-screen after down 1-2 hit. Then Jupiter dashed up, and then he went to do a throw while the clown was blocking, and the clown was also going like, crouching to standing or standing or crouching, and it whiffed. And then he punished him, and Jupiter lost. So depressing.
Yeah, I never seen that before.
It's rare,
And
dude. You have to. It's literally a just frame. You have to throw it the exact. There's a specific frame when they're transitioning where they're like throwing me or something. It'll make throws with. It's really stupid.
Because I know that restand Leatherface does is like only +3, so there's no
Yeah.
way that he was 2+ on hit to make
Exactly,
the grab.
yeah.
Work, so yeah,
And even Revit lifting was, you saw him like transitioning, and then he was like, "Oh shit, a whiff." He wasn't even ready for the throw punish because he didn't expect it to whiff. He was waiting for like a string. But anyway, I'm sorry for wasting your guys' time with this. Let me go ahead and wrap up because I know Dave doesn't care about this issue.
No, I didn't even watch it because I don't care about it. But I think throws it to be tough anyway. It's a pointless conversation.
No, it was just an interesting thing. I mean, I know one extra thing
Well,
now.
just so you know, if you guys go to Combat, careful throwing people up close, especially as a finisher, because bitches may be going up and down or down and up, and your shit may whiff.
Guys, yeah, mix-ups in MKX, God, they're so weak because of throws. God forbid. Like, what is we talking about? Anyway, can we please wrap it up? I think I have to go to bed, especially after listening to your last rant about MKX.
What was that ranting about MKX? Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. This has been episode 61. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think going forward for the next episode, should we ignore any kind of topic that's nothing to do with gameplay, or should we address it? Do you guys like to hear opinions on it or not? Let us know how you feel. With that said, see you guys next episode. Thanks again for watching.